Hey, and welcome back to Math with Patrick. Today is August 24th, and we're solving problem number 236 from the Daily Epsilon calendar. And as with all the problems in the calendar, the answer should match today's date. So this x that we're solving for should be 24. So I see some kind of function rule here. We have the function f, and when we input 3y plus 5, we're going to get this number as our output. And so I'm already a little bit weirded out by the problem. Normally, when you write functions, you will just write your input number here, and then you'll write out the rule that you need to follow to figure out the output value. So normally functions look like this, where you tell me some number like 2, and then anytime you see that input variable, you're just going to replace it with, say, a 2. So what's a little bit strange about this function is that we're inputting a whole expression here, 3y plus 5. And then in our function notation, I don't see that 3y plus 5 show up anywhere. Usually I expect this expression somewhere over here on the right, because again, usually functions tell me how to input something and apply some rules to figure out my output value. So it's a little odd here. It looks like x is equal to f of 7. And so as long as we figure out what happens when we plug in a 7 here, we're all good. So let's figure out what this f of 7 can tell us. I'm kind of lining it up to f of 3y plus 5. And I'm basically just trying to figure out when can I make this the number 7? Because with the calendar today, we really want to input 7 into this function. So I want to know what y is going to be so that I can create the number 7 in here. It's unfortunately not like a whole number or anything. 3y plus 5 equals 7. That's going to be equal to 7 when 3y is equal to 2. I'm just imagining this being the number 2, and then I get a true equation. And then I could divide both sides by 3, and I get y is equal to 2/3. So if I'm inputting a 7 into my function here, then that must mean that 3y plus 5 is equal to, 7, and then that must mean that y is equal to 2/3. So probably then f of 7 is going to be equal to 9 times, and then not 7, but 2/3, because this 7 caused my y to be the number 2/3, and then so that's this y right here, and so I should do 9 times and then y squared, and then add 30 times, and then instead of y, another 2/3. So let's just kind of go down that path, and hopefully we can simplify this right side and get the number 24 today, because x is supposed to be equal to 24. Let's do order of operations the normal way. Let's do exponents first. So we're going to get 4/9. I'm just multiplying 2/3 by 2/3. I'll keep everything else exactly the same. Let's do multiplication second. I know that this 9 right here and that 9 right there are going to cancel, so 9 times 4/9 is just 4. And then I'm also kind of thinking about these first before I multiply the two. The 30 and the 3 make a 10, because it's like 30 divided by 3. And then that 10 times the 2 makes a 20, and then 4 plus 20 is 24. So there is our answer. Definitely like a weird function notation kind of problem. I don't think you'd really ever see notation like this where the thing inside the parentheses does not match your variable over here, unless the problem maker is trying to be a little bit devious or try to make you think a little bit more about what function notation really means. So I think therein is the difficulty of today's problem. Either way, we got 24 and we're all done. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.